For more on the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy, we're now joined by CBS News legal contributor Rebecca Roiphe. Rebecca, good morning. Great to have you with us. I think what's fascinating for our viewers is that the forensic psychiatrist called by the defense and the prosecution Friday had, as you might expect, differing views on her mental state when she killed her children. Let's just play a clip of that.
After time of the crime itself, on January 24, 2023, Ms. Clancy was frankly psychotic.
She was aware in those moments beforehand that that was wrong or against the law, and that she could be punished for such an act.
So she was clearly psychotic, or she was clearly aware of her actions being punishable. If you're sitting on the if you're sitting in the jury, how do you weigh those opposing opinions?
Yeah, I mean, this case is going to come down to those warring experts and her state of mind at this moment. And I think if you're on the jury, you're looking not only at what they're saying, but also at the facts that have been presented over the course of the trial and whether they're more consistent with the prosecution's narrative or the prosecution's experts' narrative or with the defense experts' narrative. And then, of course, we also have that burden of proof that the government has the burden of showing that she possessed that criminal responsibility. And so that may weigh in terms of how they look at this particular diagnosis.
And as we approach what could be the closing arguments, what will each side be looking to achieve as far as leaving the jury with one sentiment on their mind?
Yes, exactly. So I think the prosecution is going to start with their expert and say, look, she was depressed. They're going to acknowledge that she had a severe mental illness, but depression and suicidality does not itself mean that she could understand, that she couldn't understand right from wrong and control her conduct, conform it to the law. And they will point to her organized, purposeful conduct the day of this event. She planned the food takeout. She planned the trip to CVS. And then she concealed it insofar as she did this while her husband was away. I think the defense is going to take that story and turn it around. They're going to start with their expert and say, no, she was operating under this postpartum psychosis and she was bipolar and manic. And so all of this, the same facts that the prosecution is going to point to actually point to the fact that she was operating under this delusion, that she essentially felt controlled by these voices or by this compulsion in her mind to do this thing. And so I think it's that those two stories that the jury is going to look to, not just the experts, but the facts, and whether in their mind that makes it look like the more consistent with the prosecution story or the defense's story.
Yeah, she could go to jail for life or go to a psychiatric location. We'll see what the jury thinks. Rebecca, thank you very much.